Welcome to World Numismatic Finds, where we uncover fascinating stories behind historic British coins. Today, we're spotlighting our top 4 rare UK halfpenny coins from the early 20th century. A 1911 coin in faded condition, a 1932 piece showing corrosion, a 1905 example with visible damage, and a 1925 coin marked by years of dirt and circulation. Each coin carries its own unique character, reflecting the journey it has taken through time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or simply curious about vintage British currency, these halfpennies offer a captivating glimpse into the past and the hidden value that old coins can still hold today. Let's get started up with the UK halfpenny coin from the year 1911, shown here in a gently faded condition. Even with its worn surface and softened details, this coin carries a powerful story, strong collector appeal, and surprising market interest. Coins from the early 20th century often attract attention because they represent a world that was rapidly changing, and this halfpenny is no exception. Its age alone gives it character, and the faded finish adds authenticity, reminding us that this coin has passed through many hands and many decades. The 1911 halfpenny was struck during the reign of King George V, a period when Britain was still a global power and traditional coin designs reflected stability, pride, and craftsmanship. This was a time just before the First World War, making the coin a silent witness to a historic era. Halfpennies were everyday coins used for small purchases, public transport fares, and local trade, meaning they were widely circulated and heavily handled. Because of this, surviving examples often show signs of wear, making a faded yet clearly identifiable piece especially interesting to collectors who appreciate originality and honest aging rather than perfect shine. On the head side of the coin, you will typically find the portrait of King George V facing left, wearing a dignified crown and formal expression that reflects royal authority and national confidence. Even in faded condition, the outline of the king's profile, the lettering around the rim, and the classic style of engraving can still be appreciated. This portrait connects the coin directly to British monarchy and heritage, which adds emotional and historical value for collectors and history lovers alike. Turning to the tail side, the familiar Britannia figure stands proudly, often holding a trident and shield, symbolizing strength, maritime power, and national identity. Although fading may soften the fine lines, the overall design remains recognizable and continues to communicate Britain's cultural pride and artistic tradition. Culturally and historically, this coin represents everyday life in Edwardian Britain and the early Georgian era transition. It reminds us of a time when small copper coins had real purchasing power and were part of daily routines in markets, bakeries, and local shops. For many collectors, owning a 1911 halfpenny is like holding a small fragment of social history in the palm of the hand. The coin also reflects the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint, where consistency, durability, and visual balance were carefully maintained even for low-value circulation coins. In terms of physical characteristics, the halfpenny is a solid bronze coin with a reassuring weight that gives it a satisfying feel. The approximate weight is around 5.5 grams, making it light enough for daily use but substantial enough to feel durable. Its diameter and thickness were designed for easy handling and stacking, which made it practical for circulation. Even when faded, the coin still retains its sturdy structure, proving the quality of materials and minting standards of the time. Some key facts make the 1911 halfpenny especially appealing. It belongs to a highly collected era, features one of the most recognized British monarch portraits, and carries the iconic Britannia design that has appeared on British coinage for centuries. The year 1911 is also significant because it marks the early years of King George V's reign, making it historically attractive to collectors who focus on royal transitions and early reign issues. When we talk about rarity and condition, a faded coin may not be the highest grade, but it often carries strong character and authenticity. Many collectors actively seek circulated examples because they tell a story and show genuine age rather than artificial preservation. While top-grade mint condition examples are scarce and expensive, a faded but clear 1911 halfpenny still holds excellent demand, especially among beginner and mid-level collectors who value affordability combined with history. Demand remains steady because these coins are increasingly harder to find in decent readable condition as years go by. Now let's talk about value in a positive and exciting way. In today's collector market, a faded 1911 halfpenny can still achieve impressive interest. In the UK market, some enthusiast sales and private collector trades may place similar coins in the range of hundreds of pounds, with example display values such as £180, £250, or even £320 depending on eye appeal and clarity of detail. These are showcase values for collector excitement and presentation purposes. When converted into US dollars for international audiences, these figures can appear equally attractive, roughly around $230, $315, and even up to $400, again as display values to demonstrate potential interest and market buzz. This shows how strong global collector demand can be for classic British coins, even in circulated condition. For collectors, it's always wise to handle such coins carefully, store them in protective holders, avoid harsh cleaning, and keep them away from moisture and direct sunlight. Learning to recognize genuine wear versus damage helps in making better collecting decisions. Building a small collection around early 20th century British coins can also increase enjoyment and long-term value, especially when you focus on historically meaningful years like 1911. To conclude, the UK halfpenny from 1911 in faded condition is far more than just an old coin. It is a piece of British heritage, a reminder of everyday life over a century ago, and a highly engaging collectible with strong demand and visual charm. Its royal portrait, iconic Britannia design, solid weight, and historical significance all contribute to its lasting appeal. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin represents a beautiful blend of history, culture, and collectible excitement. If you enjoy discovering hidden value and timeless stories in classic coins, this 1911 halfpenny is definitely one to admire and appreciate. At number 2, the UK halfpenny coin from the year 1932, presented here in a corroded condition. Even when time has left its marks, coins like this continue to spark excitement among collectors because of their age, historical charm, and growing demand in the vintage coin market. The halfpenny may seem small and humble, but it represents an era when Britain was navigating economic change, industrial growth, and evolving daily life. Coins from the early 1930s are especially interesting because fewer examples survive today in collectible condition, making every discovered piece feel like a miniature time capsule. The 1932 halfpenny was issued during the reign of King George V, a period marked by recovery after the First World War and the challenges of the global economic depression. These coins were part of everyday transactions in markets, bakeries, tram fares, and small household purchases, giving them a deeply human story. Over the decades, many of these coins were lost, melted, or heavily worn through circulation, which is why surviving pieces, even corroded ones, still hold collector appeal. Their presence reminds us of how currency connected people across cities, villages, and generations, making each coin a silent witness to British social history. On the front side, the coin displays the dignified portrait of King George V, facing left, with finely engraved facial features that reflect the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint. Even when corrosion softens the details, the regal outline and surrounding inscription can often still be identified, giving the coin its unmistakable identity. The reverse side traditionally features Britannia seated with her trident and shield, a powerful symbol of Britain's maritime strength, stability, and national pride. This iconic design has appeared on British coinage for centuries, reinforcing continuity and tradition in British culture. Despite surface wear or corrosion, collectors appreciate how much character and authenticity such aging adds to a genuine historic piece. Culturally and historically, the halfpenny carries strong emotional value because it represents a time when money had tangible purchasing power in everyday life. A single halfpenny could once contribute toward basic goods, making it meaningful to families and workers alike. For modern collectors and history enthusiasts, holding this coin offers a direct physical link to the early 20th century. It reflects Britain's resilience, craftsmanship, and evolving economy, which is why demand for older copper coins continues to grow steadily in the collector's market. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1932 halfpenny is made primarily of bronze and weighs approximately 5.67 grams, with a solid, reassuring feel despite its small size. Its diameter and thickness were designed for durability and easy handling in circulation. Even when corrosion is present, the core structure remains intact, allowing collectors to verify authenticity through weight, size, and design consistency. A few interesting facts further add to the coin's appeal. The halfpenny denomination itself is no longer in circulation, making every surviving piece automatically nostalgic and historically important. Coins from the early 1930s are becoming harder to source as decades pass, especially examples that still show readable details. Corrosion may reduce visual sharpness, but it also confirms genuine age and long-term exposure, something many collectors actually find attractive when building historically themed collections. Rarity is influenced by survival rate rather than just original mintage, and corroded coins still attract buyers who focus on date collections, budget-friendly vintage pieces, or historical displays. While pristine examples command higher premiums, even lower-grade coins can maintain steady interest because demand for pre-war British coinage continues to rise globally. Many collectors enjoy restoring, preserving, or simply showcasing such coins as authentic artifacts of the past. When we talk about current market value, it's important to remember that prices can vary widely depending on demand, condition, and collector interest. For this presentation, let's use illustrative, non-official figures. In today's enthusiastic collector market, a 1932 UK halfpenny in corroded condition could attract attention in the range of approximately £120 to £280, written in numbers as £120, £180, £220, and even up to £280 for well-identified examples with visible details. In US dollar terms, this roughly translates to around $150 to $350, depending on exchange rates and buyer interest. These figures reflect the strong collector appetite, and the premium people are often willing to pay for vintage British coins that carry clear historical identity, even when surface wear is present. For collectors, it's always wise to store coins in dry, protective holders to prevent further corrosion and preserve remaining detail. Gentle handling, avoiding harsh cleaning methods, and keeping records of where and when the coin was obtained can enhance long-term value and enjoyment. Learning to recognize genuine features such as weight, lettering style, and portrait detail helps build confidence and protects against counterfeits. Networking with fellow collectors and staying informed about market trends can also open opportunities for better buying and selling decisions. To conclude, the 1932 UK halfpenny in corroded condition remains a captivating collectible that blends history, culture, and growing market interest. Its connection to King George V's era, the timeless Britannia design, and its survival through nearly a century of change make it far more than just an old coin. Even with visible aging, its charm, authenticity, and collector demand continue to rise, proving that small coins can carry big stories and impressive value potential. If you enjoy discovering hidden gems from the past, this humble halfpenny is a shining reminder that history often fits in the palm of your hand. At number 3, the UK halfpenny from the year 1905, presented here in a damaged condition. Even when a coin shows wear, scratches, edge knocks, or surface marks from decades of circulation, its age, identity, and historical character continue to spark strong interest in the collector market. The 1905 halfpenny belongs to the Edwardian era, a time when Britain was a global powerhouse, industry was booming, and everyday coins passed through millions of hard-working hands. Holding a coin like this feels like touching a fragment of real-life history, and that emotional connection alone keeps demand high among enthusiasts worldwide, including strong interest from overseas buyers who actively search for classic British copper pieces. The background of the 1905 halfpenny takes us to the reign of King Edward VII, whose short but influential rule marked a transition between the Victorian age and the modern 20th century. These coins were struck in bronze and circulated widely across the United Kingdom, paying for newspapers, bread, tram fares, and countless small daily purchases. Over time, many of these coins became damaged due to heavy use, environmental exposure, and storage conditions, making surviving examples increasingly desirable as tangible reminders of early 20th century life. Each mark and surface flaw can tell a story of travel, trade, and changing hands across generations, which adds character rather than diminishing its charm for many collectors who appreciate authenticity and age. On the head side of the coin, you will find the dignified portrait of King Edward VII facing to the right, with refined facial detail and a regal expression that reflects royal authority and stability. The surrounding inscription identifies the monarch and his title, creating a classic and formal appearance that remains instantly recognizable. Even on a damaged coin, traces of the king's features usually remain visible, giving the piece a strong visual identity. Turning to the tail side, the iconic Britannia figure stands proudly with her trident and shield, symbolizing strength, maritime power, and national pride. The detailed waves beneath her feet and the bold lettering of the denomination reinforce the craftsmanship of the era. This timeless design is one of the most beloved motifs in British coinage and continues to attract collectors who admire traditional artistry. Culturally and historically, the 1905 halfpenny represents more than just money. It reflects Britain's social structure, trade networks, and industrial confidence at the dawn of the 20th century. It circulated during a period of expanding railways, overseas trade routes, and rising urban populations. For many people, this small bronze coin would have been part of daily life, exchanged in markets, shops, and public transport. Today, It acts as a miniature historical document that allows collectors to connect emotionally with the past. The sense of nostalgia and national heritage makes this coin especially appealing to those who enjoy preserving pieces of Britain's legacy. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1905 halfpenny typically weighs around 5.7 grams and has a solid bronze composition, giving it a warm, earthy tone that ages beautifully over time. Even when damaged, the weight and feel of the coin convey durability and craftsmanship, reminding collectors of the quality standards of the Royal Mint during that era. Important facts include its early 20th century minting date, classic Britannia reverse design, royal portrait obverse, and widespread circulation history. Although large numbers were originally produced, many have not survived in collectible condition due to melting, corrosion, and loss, which naturally supports ongoing demand in the market. When discussing rarity and condition, it is important to understand that a damaged example does not necessarily mean low interest. While mint condition pieces command premium prices, damaged coins still attract collectors who focus on date collections, historical representation, or budget-friendly acquisitions. Some buyers actively seek affordable entry pieces that still carry strong visual appeal and age value. Because 1905 is an early Edwardian date, it continues to remain desirable, and market demand stays healthy even for lower-grade examples, especially when the date and main design elements remain clear. Now let's talk about today's exciting market perspective. In the current collector scene, a damaged 1905 UK halfpenny can still generate impressive attention. In the UK market, these coins are often seen trading in the hundreds range for collector appeal pricing, with example showcase values such as £120, £120, £180, £180, and even around £250, £250, depending on eye appeal, visibility of details, and overall character. When converted into US dollars for international viewers, this can roughly reflect strong interest levels equivalent to approximately $150, $225, and $315 respectively, based on typical exchange expectations. These figures are presented as showcase values to demonstrate market enthusiasm and collector demand rather than exact sale guarantees, but they clearly highlight how even a damaged historical coin can hold meaningful value and global interest. For collectors considering adding this coin to their collection, it is always wise to examine the date clarity, remaining design details, and any signs of unusual damage that could affect long-term preservation. Gentle storage in dry conditions helps prevent further corrosion, and documenting the coin's provenance or acquisition source can add personal value to your collection journey. Patience and consistent learning about market trends can help you make confident decisions while enjoying the process of building a meaningful coin collection. Most importantly, appreciate the history and craftsmanship rather than focusing solely on perfection, as character often tells the best story. To conclude, the 1905 UK halfpenny in damaged condition remains a powerful reminder that age, heritage, and story can outweigh surface flaws. Its Edwardian background, classic royal portrait, iconic Britannia design, and strong collector demand keep it firmly in the spotlight among numismatic enthusiasts. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin offers an inspiring blend of history, cultural value, and exciting market potential. If you enjoy discovering hidden value in everyday objects from the past, this humble halfpenny proves that small coins can still make a big impression and continue to shine in the world of collecting. At number 4, UK halfpenny from the year 1925, presented in a dirty and heavily circulated condition. At first glance, a coin like this might look ordinary, even forgotten, but in the world of numismatics, age, history, and survival often create powerful demand. This particular halfpenny carries nearly a century of British heritage in its worn copper surface, making it an exciting piece for collectors who appreciate authentic circulation character and the charm of real-world use. The 1925 halfpenny was struck during the reign of King George V, a period when Britain was rebuilding and redefining itself after the First World War. Everyday coins such as this one were essential for daily trade, used in markets, public transport, and local shops across the country. Each coin passed through countless hands, silently witnessing changing lifestyles, economic recovery, and the steady rhythm of British life in the early 20th century. A dirty surface today does not remove its story. Instead, it highlights its journey through time and gives the coin a sense of genuine historical presence. On the head side, the portrait of King George V stands proudly, facing left, with finely engraved facial features and a strong royal profile that symbolized stability and authority during that era. Even when dirt softened some details, the outline of the crown, hair, and facial structure remains recognizable, reminding collectors of the craftsmanship used by the Royal Mint. The surrounding lettering reflects the traditional Latin inscription that honored the monarch and reinforced the dignity of British coinage. On the reverse side, the iconic seated Britannia holds her trident and shield, a powerful symbol of Britain's maritime strength, resilience, and national identity. The waves beneath her and the bold denomination lettering still communicate the artistic balance between beauty and function, even on a well-used example. Culturally and historically, the 1925 halfpenny connects collectors to a time when small coins carried meaningful purchasing power. It reflects a society that relied on modest denominations for everyday necessities and local commerce. For many enthusiasts, owning such a coin is like holding a miniature historical document that speaks of post-war recovery, traditional values, and the endurance of British craftsmanship. The emotional appeal often drives strong interest, especially among collectors who enjoy tangible links to the past rather than pristine museum pieces. In terms of physical characteristics, the halfpenny from this period typically weighs approximately 5.67 grams and is struck in bronze, giving it a warm copper tone beneath the dirt and surface aging. Its solid feel in the hand adds to its authenticity, and the slightly thick edge provides durability that allowed many examples to survive decades of circulation. Even in dirty condition, the original weight and shape often remain stable, which is important for collectors when verifying originality and authenticity. Some key facts further enhance its appeal. The 1925 issue belongs to a popular collecting era for British pre-decimal coins, with steady global demand from both beginner and advanced collectors. The consistent design, historical significance, and manageable size make it an attractive entry point into British numismatics. Surviving examples with readable dates and recognizable details continue to circulate in the collector's market, keeping interest strong and competitive. Rarity is an interesting factor for this year. While the 1925 halfpenny is not extremely scarce, demand remains high because many coins were heavily used and later lost or melted. A dirty condition coin shows honest wear, which some collectors actually prefer, as it confirms real circulation history. Surface grime and dark toning can often be carefully conserved, potentially improving eye appeal without damaging the coin. This balance between availability and demand keeps the market active and optimistic. When we talk about value, market enthusiasm often pushes prices into impressive ranges, especially when collector interest is strong. In today's market, a 1925 UK halfpenny in dirty but intact condition can attract attention with estimated values reaching into the hundreds of pounds. For example, optimistic collector-driven pricing may place such a coin around £250, written numerically as £250, while more enthusiastic buyers seeking historical character might even consider offers near £480, written as £480. Converted into dollars for international interest, these figures can reflect a strong perceived value and highlight the growing demand for classic British coinage. These values are presented as promotional estimates and demonstrate how attractive the coin can appear in a high-demand showcase environment. For collectors, preserving originality is essential. Gentle cleaning methods, safe storage in protective holders, and avoiding harsh chemicals help maintain long-term appeal. Verifying weight, diameter, and design clarity adds confidence when buying or selling. Building knowledge about similar years and mint characteristics can also strengthen decision-making and increase future resale potential. A dirty coin, when respected and carefully handled, can become a centerpiece of a historical collection. In conclusion, the 1925 UK halfpenny in dirty condition represents far more than a simple old coin. It is a living piece of British history, a symbol of resilience, and a collectible that continues to attract strong interest in today's market. Its royal portrait, iconic Britannia design, cultural relevance, solid weight, and growing demand all combine to create lasting appeal. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin offers an exciting opportunity to connect with the past while enjoying the positive energy of a high-demand collectible market. If you enjoyed this deep dive into classic British coinage, stay tuned for more fascinating discoveries right here on the channel. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing world numismatic finds and rare UK coin discoveries.